Great. As people know, we passed today the Municipalities Amendment Act and the UNESCO World Heritage Fund Act, both of which considered in some circumstances controversial. I think what we wanted to do today was allay the concerns of a lot of people about what the intent of this bill, specifically the Municipalities Bill, was. And that is to expand the franchise to give business ratepayers a vote. It is not getting rid of the residential vote. Let's make that very, very clear. What it's doing is giving a proportion to business and a proportion to the residents, both of whom will have an equal say overall right now in terms of the proportions given the numbers of voters for the business ratepayer and the number for residents. Going forward, no matter what happens, there will always be a minimum of 2 individuals who are voted by the residents. So we've laid out a very good framework that's unique in that it is giving opportunity for everyone to be heard. Normally in a Westminster system of government, what you see is a first-past-the-post system that the rights of the minority are basically ignored. This more hybrid proportional representation system that we've adopted here gives comfort to both business ratepayers and residential ratepayers. So I think that's very important. We've also added increased oversight, and we've returned wharfage and port dues to be handled by the municipalities themselves. And that should increase their revenue greatly and give them more opportunity to do some of the things that they want to do to improve infrastructure and the like. What we're very proud of is the UNESCO World Heritage levy. And whilst it is, yes, a levy, it's a tax on oil imports coming in through the Ferry Reach dock, it'll raise about $430,000 to be managed by the Corporation of St. George's to invest in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. What that in fact means for the consumer, if it ends up being passed on, is for a tank of gas that may say 45 liters of gas, it will cost you an extra 11 cents in total. So it's a very small amount passed on into the consumer for hopefully onward and larger investment in St. George's. As an overall session, we've had some extra sessions. We've passed some very important legislation, Job Makers Amendment Act, which we believe will create jobs for Bermudians. We've passed the work permit amendments, which give the Chief Immigration Officer opportunities to fine people who ignore and flout immigration rules, which we believe is an important step in protecting Bermudians in the workplace. We passed any number of other very important pieces of legislation that we believe will help create a platform for job creation and protect Bermudians at the same time. I did say this one thing in the Senate this afternoon and wrap up. It's going to be tough. Things are going to be tough over the next 4 years. We have a lot of work to do to turn the economy around and lay the foundation for job creation for Bermudians. These things don't happen overnight. What I do implore all of us to do is work together. It's not just a buzzword. We can throw out there political point scoring and all that. I get that. But going forward into the next legislative session, we have that obligation to work together and bring about a betterment for Bermuda. Thank you very much.